Hey everyone, Dan here. Today I'm doing a lamb rack. This one here, just a normal Coles one. They're about $20 a piece, so they're not the cheapest, but they are really nice. I'm doing this on the Fornetto smoker like I do with most of my meat. So I'll get this out. What I'll do first, I'll season it up. I haven't even got the smoker started yet, but I want to get this seasoned, let it sit in the fridge for a couple of hours and do its thing. I'm not going to worry about putting any olive oil or anything on that. I'm just going to add my herbs and salt and pepper to it, and then put it in the fridge and let it rest. So I'm just using normal salt, garlic powder, pepper, and I have a sprig of rosemary here as well. So I won't worry about putting any of that on the fat cap, just because none of that flavour will absorb into the meat. They're only a fine cut of meat too, and they are a delicate meat as well, these lamb racks. So you probably don't need too much seasoning. Depends on how you like it. I won't worry about putting too much rosemary on here either, or garlic powder. But just a bit of salt, pepper, and basically a light seasoning. So obviously I've got fresh rosemary, so it's going to have a bit more strength than the dried rosemary, but just a basic season. So I'll continue on and do the edges, just cut this up. Obviously just a little bit of that. I'm not even going to chop it too finely, just enough to get a little bit of rosemary into it. I'm not too worried. And just get that on there as well, and I'll press that in. So that should do for the seasoning. I'll do the ends as well, but I'll do that off camera. Press that in, and that's it. So I'll let that sit in the fridge a couple of hours, just basic seasoning. Just let it just get some of that flavour in, and some bit more of that rosemary on. My wife finds our rosemary a bit overpowering. I love it, but I won't put too much on. I made that mistake last time, so I'll be cognizant of her this time. All right, I'll come back when that's ready and we'll get that on the smoker. Okay, so I'm ready to put this in the smoker. Of course, it just started raining now. I want to do this, so you have to bear with me if it's a little not as loud as I want it, but I'm trying to speak loudly. So I'll get this in the smoker on the top rack. I'm using pecan today to smoke this, so I'll just place that on there like that. Actually, I might try something different, put the fat cap down tonight. I usually put the fat cap up, but I'll do it like that. So that smoker's sitting at 90 degrees, which is where I want it. I want to really slow cook this lamb until it's 60 degrees internal. I'm actually using, I'm using pecan to smoke it with. I find it goes really well with lamb. I'm actually trialling these heat beads charcoal barbecue briquettes instead of the normal ones I use. So they were four 4 kilo bags for $20. So 16 kilos for $20. I thought, well, seems like a good deal, so I thought I'd try them out and give them a go and see how they go. And the only thing I found is I do smoke a lot when they're in the chimney. While I'm putting them here, they do smoke a lot until they're lit up, but then they tend not to smoke so much. So I'll come back when that's at 60 degrees internal and we'll go from there. Okay, so this is now 65 degrees internal. It's been on there for an hour, so I'm going to take this off. Wrap it in alfoil. I'm going to give it about half an hour to, I'm going to give it 30 minutes to rest before I come back, and I'll sear it off on those coals on the bottom here. I'll take this whole thing off, put this rack back down on the coals, but for now, that's now cooked for, like I said, 60 minutes. It's sat for 60 minutes at 100 degrees in the smoker. And that's how it's looking. So that's the bottom, because I put the fat cap to the bottom. And that's the top where I had the meat sitting. That's how I had the meat sitting. So I said 60 minutes. That's now, it was sitting at 61 degrees Celsius. So I'll wrap that now for 20 to 30 minutes, probably 30 minutes, just to let that rest. And I'll come back and we'll sear that off on the coals. Okay, so now I've got the coal's good to go in here. And this has been wrapped for 35 minutes now. I'm just going to sear this off. So I'll bring the camera up and let you see that. That's what it looks like when it hasn't been seared off. The coal bed's not too close to the grill. There's probably a good 10 centimetres between the coals and the grill. That's the top side, and that's the bottom. So that's, like I said, rested for about 35 minutes. Got to an internal temperature of 61 degrees before I changed it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to sear that off. It's the same principle as reverse searing a steak, basically. So I'll put the fat cap down first. I'm going to let that sear for a couple of minutes. There's still a few juices in there, won't let them go to waste, so pull them back onto the top of the meat. So now it's basically searing it off to how you like it. I like the fact that the charcoal's a little further away, so I'm not going to burn the crap out of the fat cap. I'm also not going to burn this side either when I flip it over. But I'm going to spend the next probably 3 to 4 minutes flipping it from the fat cap back to the where the lung would sit, basically, the other side. So I'll flip that over continuously, start to get some colour on that meat, and it will taste pretty good. Basically, you can hold it up to and do the ends, but I don't see the point in that. I'm more interested in getting the colour on the meat and searing the meat off to get the crust on it, just to give it the extra flavour. So you can hold it up here too. So you have that piece of meat there, which won't be exposed fully to the coals. So I'm not going to hold that by hand, otherwise that'll burn me, but I'll just keep flipping that around. And I'll do that for about 3 or 4 minutes. So I won't waste video time on that. I'll just keep doing that, and we'll be back when this is finished. And this is what you'll get. You know, this is about 20 seconds, just with the fat sort of dripping onto the coals. Flip that over, and the video camera is not going to give that much justice, but you're starting to get a real nice, dark, crispy fat cap there. Gives it a heap more flavour. You can take that out, like I said, and just do that normally. Well, sorry, just have it smoked. But by doing it this way, you're giving that char grilled flavour, which is what I'm chasing. And it's being reverse seared, so I've smoked it low and slow for, you know, like I said, probably 60 minutes, 65 minutes until it reached the internal temperature I wanted. I've also rested the meat, so the juices have dispersed back into the meat. Now it's just a matter of charring it off, giving it that char flavour from that flame, which it's getting. Flip that back over, and you can see that meat now looking like that. Starting to char a little bit. The camera won't give it the justice. It's actually still pretty moist on the outside, so I'm happy with that. Okay, so we're back now. We've had this resting for about 20 minutes after I've seared it off. Had it now for, and there's a little bit of juice and oil coming out of that, which is good. So I'll slice that up right now. I'll start with this end here, and we'll cut down between the bones. And we'll see how that looks. There we go, there's the first piece. We'll do a second piece. And that's probably medium well. As you can see, the pinkness in the centre. So that's coming along well. So I'll keep slicing this up, and we shall come back and get the wife's opinion on how this actually tastes. As you can see, that's actually slicing up really nicely, and it's still quite tender. We'll come in there and just, you see all the juices coming out. But yeah, we'll come back. I'll keep slicing this up. We'll come back and we'll do the taste test. So we have the taste test right here. Louise is going to pick a random middle piece and try it and see how it is.
It's beautiful.
Is it tender?
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, I had a piece before, so yeah, it's not too bad. I know you like it. That's actually probably one of the better ones we've done. So from now on, 61 degrees internal. And then we'll let it rest for 35 minutes, and then we'll do it again. We'll sear it off and rest it for another 5.
Do I have to share this with you?
Yes. Yeah, so that was basically, like I said, we smoked that for an hour till internal temperature of 61 degrees. Rested it for half an hour. And then seared it off like I showed you. And then we rested it for another 10 minutes. And it's actually pretty good lamb. So until next time, this is Dan out.